You are listening to Rocket Voices, a University of Toledo integrated media podcast.
Welcome to Rocket Voices. I am your host, Danielle Hasting, and joining me on this episode is Giselle De La Torre. Giselle is a sophomore at the University of Toledo and is already involved in a surplus of activities on campus from sports to Greek life. Giselle has also come all the way from San Diego, California to attend UT. So Giselle, I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but how is California different from Ohio?
It is completely different. Especially the biggest thing is the weather. Right now it's like 20, 30 degrees, and the coldest it gets there is probably like 40.
Oh, wow.
So it's definitely, the weather's the biggest thing. Also, we don't get snow in San Diego unless you go up to the mountains.
Aw.
So that's a big adjustment too. But other than that, obviously San Diego's a big city, so coming to Toledo is like, oh, so small. There's like not a lot of things. Yeah, those are like the biggest differences.
Did you choose Toledo because of your major in cosmetic science and formulation design?
Yes, that's actually how I found out about the University of Toledo. I was looking up cosmetic chemistry because that's what I was interested in, and then I found the cosmetic science and formulation design major here at UT, and they're the only school that has it as an undergraduate major in the whole country. So here I am.
Would you say it's a difficult major, and why?
I would say yes, it is difficult, but it's very interesting, so it makes it worth it. It's very science-focused, so right now I'm in O chemistry, and it is very difficult. I take a lot of math and science-based courses, but there is another side to it. I get to take some like art courses, so I've taken this Adobe InDesign where I can like work with programs.
Designing.
Yeah, work with programs and design, designing, like if it was a magazine.
Oh,
like a magazine, can design those, make ads, flyers, things like that.
Very professional.
Yeah, and then I'm also get to take business classes. So next semester I'll be taking a marketing class. I'm in a sales class right now. So it's really interdisciplinary, I would say. So it's very interesting.
What's your main goal for like your career?
I would say my main goal is to be a formulation chemist. So that would be creating the formulas, using the raw materials to create new products. Specifically focusing with skincare is what I would like to do. There's a lot of sides of it. You can be making soaps and shampoos, body wash, makeup, all those kinds of things, but I would like to focus on skincare.
All right. Besides your studies, you are involved in a lot. So firstly, let's talk about Greek life. So you are a president of Alpha Psi Lambda, or also known as ASI. Now that is pretty impressive, but I need to know, why did you join ASI?
So Alpha Psi Lambda is a co-ed Hispanic Latino-based fraternity, and coming from San Diego, that was another big adjustment. There's a high Hispanic population in San Diego and not so much in Toledo, so I really wanted to surround myself with what I was comfortable with, which is being around Hispanic people. And so I was already interested in Greek life, and while I was looking through all the tables, I found one that was specifically based like for Hispanic Latino people, and I was really shocked. I didn't know that existed. But right away it felt like home. My parent, or in other orgs they call them bigs, her name is Maddie, and she was actually also cosmetic science. She just graduated last spring, but that was one of the main reasons why I joined, and she is still like a mentor to me, helping me through like all my classes because she's taken them already.
What else would you say that you're getting out of Alpha Psi Lambda?
I would just say community. I feel at home. I'm able to like listen to the music I listen to, and they also know it, and it doesn't feel awkward. And also, like, they're my best friends. I hang out with them every single day, literally all the time. We always go out to eat. We always hang out at each other's houses. Like, we're always together.
What responsibilities does the president have?
So most of what I have to do, I get all the emails through Greek Life, and I have to let everybody know what's going up, keep them up to date with like announcements and deadlines. I also run our chapter meeting that's every week, so I'm the one who starts out. I facilitate the voting. I also delegate tasks to everybody, so whenever we're planning an event, I'll tell, like, hey, recruitment chair, you're going to do this part of it, and, like, VP, I need you to do this part of it. So, yeah, those are the main things that I have to do.
Speaking of presidents, you are also the president of the women's lacrosse team at UT. When did you start playing lacrosse?
So I actually started playing lacrosse my freshman year of high school. So I played all throughout high school. I only played in high school. I never did club. Not my choice. My parents didn't want to let me. But, yeah, so I started then, and then I've kept on playing because it's a really big passion of mine.
Would you say it's a difficult sport to play?
I would say yes and no. For me, I played soccer my whole life, and it's kind of similar besides, like, using a stick in your hands instead of your feet. So for me, the transition wasn't too hard, and I've noticed people who have played soccer or even, like, other sports, it's easy for them to pick up lacrosse. But if you've never played a sport, I would say that it's a little more difficult, but I think that's just because of the athleticism.
How did you become president? Is there tryouts, a vote? Do you just have talent? What is it?
So it's all done through voting. So I decided I wanted to run for it. And then for lacrosse specifically, it was a Google form vote, and everyone just voted. And then it was like, hey, you're president. And I was like, wow, cool.
What types of competitions does your team compete in?
So we play a bunch of other schools like BG, Western Michigan, Kent State. We're actually just planned a tournament at Slippery Rock in Pennsylvania, so we'll be able to get a hotel and spend the night over there, look around, but then also obviously play our games.
As we are reaching the end of the podcast, I wanted to talk to you about how busy you are outside of college. I know that you also work 2 jobs while keeping up with all that schoolwork and all that you're involved with. How do you do it?
Honestly, it's very difficult to manage everything, but I feel like the only way I can do it is I schedule everything out very detailed. I would say I have a planner with all my homework assignments, and then I have my calendar on my phone, and I have a giant whiteboard calendar in my room just to keep track of everything I have to do. But yeah, like, it is a challenge, and this is my first semester being a president of 2 orgs, working, and I'm taking more credit hours than I did last semester. So it has been a big adjustment in the beginning of the semester. It was really difficult, but I've gotten the hang of it now, I would say. Just got to get through finals.
So you work at Starbucks and Dave & Buster's, correct?
Yes.
What would you say the stress level of each of those jobs are?
Very high for both of them. So at Starbucks, I'm a barista, and I work at the one on Central and Secor in the Westgate Village, and so it's a very, very high population, being like a couple minutes from campus and in the middle of a bunch of businesses all along through Secor Road. So we're actually the highest volume store in our whole district, which makes us very, very busy at all times. And I usually work during peak hours, so I'm actually about to hit my 2 years with Starbucks this weekend. But yeah, it's been a long journey, but I'm used to it by now, so it's not too bad. And then with Dave & Buster's, I'm a server there, and it is stressful, especially because Dave & Buster's is a bigger restaurant than the restaurant I used to work in previously. So I have to, like, run around to the kitchen, back to my tables, and go all around. But, yeah, it's definitely worth it.
After talking with you, we have learned that Giselle De La Torre is an incredible student, athlete, and most importantly, a great leader. Thank you, Giselle, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to all the listeners for tuning in. This has been the Rocket Voices podcast, hosted by Danielle Hasting on WXUT.
You have been listening to Rocket Voices, a University of Toledo integrated media podcast.